In Chicago, I can always foresee the Latin Kings game banging forever over there. I don't think they'll be able to change as how I envision the way that the nation should be for the East Coast. For the simple fact that Chicago's got a lot of history behind it. There's a lot of generational hatred going on down there. There's wars that's been going there for 20, 30, 40 years between the Latin Kings and the other gangs down there. That's something that won't be able to change. You know, just because you put down, if all the Latin Kings right now in Chicago put down their guns, doesn't mean everybody else is going to either. They just see that as a open season on Latin Kings, you know what I'm saying? That they don't have to worry about getting their ass shot. Now they just take out everybody at one swipe. But on the East Coast, it hasn't reached that point yet. New York is getting close with the history it has with the Bloods and all this shit, man. That war's been going on for a good 5, 8, 10 years, you know, between the Latin Kings and the Bloods down there, from starting all the way back from Rikers Island onto the street. You know, but I do see the potential for change on the East Coast. You know, and once again, everything is on a case-by-case basis. Just because I say it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Because things are different when you got to go day by day walking past the same street and have to worry about somebody putting a bullet in your ass. You know, every state is different. Every chapter is different. Just because it's peaceful in Virginia, that you can say, hey, you know, no more gunplay, you know, let's put a truce between us and you. If you see us walking down the street in your territory, as long as we ain't tagging, as long as we ain't selling drugs and doing none of that shit in your territory, just don't fuck with us. You know, don't be fucking stacking, don't be doing none of that shit, just let us be, you know. And the same thing goes for us. If I were to see a Crip or whatever, as long as he ain't stacking me, as long as he ain't fucking selling drugs in my neighborhood or selling or trying to pick up any of the females or whatever, he's just walking through, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to get to his work, trying to get to school, trying to do whatever the fuck he's trying to do. As long as he ain't trying to rob no gas stations, as long as he ain't trying to rob no businesses, as long as he ain't trying to break in and enter in anybody's house, where we are at, we're straight. You know, just be like a normal fucking neutral. You know, I don't give a fuck if he's wearing all blue from head to toe, as long as he ain't Crip walking down my street, down the sidewalk. You know? Because I don't see, just for him walking on a Tuesday down my street, if he ain't doing nothing, if he ain't trying to flag on me, you know, if he ain't trying to fucking stare me down and shit like that, he's just walking through. Even if he just says what's up, it's alright. As long as he doesn't say nothing negative, I ain't got no problem with it. Nobody else should too. Just like if they see me walking through a folk neighborhood, as long as I ain't talking to the girls, as long as I ain't doing shit, I'm just walking through. If I got a business, I'm not talking about illegal business, like if I'm trying to go to the store that's down there or whatever and just go back out, and I ain't trying to start shit with nobody, if I'm just quiet about it, or if I just say hi or what's up, being friendly, then they shouldn't have a reason to fuck with me. But at the same time, in Chicago you can't do that. In New York you can't do that. They don't give a fuck. You know, but it's all about slowly changing that state of mind. You know what I'm saying? Give a reason for the law enforcement agencies and the media not to look at us as negative as they are looking at us now. You know, to be a positive force again. To be able to organize marches in the streets, you know, against abortion or helping out the community. You know what I'm saying? Have a good cookout sponsored by the Latin Kings for the community, you know what I'm saying? Or for the neighborhood. Have Big Brother organizations, you know, be able to play with the neighborhood kids. You know, at the rec centers, playing basketball, football with them, you know what I'm saying? We could be dressed up in our colors and shit, but they ain't got to be afraid. You know? Just like the Black Panthers did back in the day, just like the Young Lords did back in the day. Before all shit went militarized and everybody started getting strapped up and stuff. You know, it'd be nice. The key word being, it would be nice to see that happen again one day. But it all starts with all of us trying to slowly change that way around. Because we were never supposed to be meant to be selling heroin and crack and all that shit. I see that shit as wrong. You know, ever since I was a kid, you know, I was told and I was thought to believe that we shouldn't be harming our community. You know, we're Puerto Ricans or Latinos or, you know, Mexicans, whatever. Because we got a lot of different races within our gang right now. We got some white people, we got some, even some black people in some states and some chapters. You know, so we should be looking for our community, strengthening our community, helping our, you know, our little ones, our younger generations that are going to replace us when we grow old and die. Because I would like to see all my kin brothers and sisters grow old and die instead of being shot at 19, 20, 21, 22. You know, we should be helping those little kids finish their homework so they could graduate, so they could get a degree and be something, so they could have their wife and their kids in their big house and their white picket fence. You know, so that way everybody can move out the ghetto, not just one or two of us that get rich off of selling drugs and shit like that, man. I know the money's good, man, but the risk, I always talk about the risk. That's why I don't sell none of that shit. I may have in the past, I may have not. Once again, I'm not going to speak on that because I've been blessed never to have a record, and you know, as they say, the good ones never get caught, and whether I did or not is nobody's business but between me and God. But I know the money's real good, but the risk is always there. Just because you want to make $1,000, somebody could come up there, a rival gang member, whatever, shoot your ass and kill you. You know what I'm saying? So that's a risk right there. The money might be good, but what are you willing to give up for that? You know, if you got a wifey at home, if you got kids, just to make that quick $1,000 in 10 minutes, are you willing to risk you catching a bullet and your son growing up without a father, having your wife grow up without a husband? You know, how are you going to miss out on your kids' first steps? You know, how is that kid going to feel growing up and saying, hey, you got your father's eyes, you know what I'm saying? Never be able to look at you and see what they're talking about. Only look at pictures and shit or what they remember of you. Or at the same time, you got the same risk. You might sell to an undercover cop, and there you go. 5, 10, 15 years in jail just for one little mistake, for 1 second. 1 second could cost you 5 or 10, 15 years. I know my words might fall on deaf ears, man, because everybody's out there making money, hustling, and all that shit, and they enjoy that shit. But sooner or later, if that shit ever comes back around and bites you in the ass, you might remember my words and be like, damn, you know, I wish I could go back in time and either give that shit to somebody else and be like, no, man, you know, today's my last day, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying quitting the gang, because I'm still a Lion King, son, don't get it twisted. I love being a Lion King, I love everything I stand for, but my state of mind has changed. No, I don't think I had to fucking go out there purposely try to shoot anybody or fucking beat the shit out of anybody if they're acting right. No, I feel like I should be an example. If I go outside dressed in my colors and there's a little kid playing on the street, I want to give him a positive image that he sees of me. Even if I'm carrying a gun or not, he doesn't have to see it. I don't have to show it to him. I could play with him and I might have a pistol on me, but it's not meant for him, and it's not meant for anybody else. It's only because, just because I choose to change, that doesn't mean everybody else thinks the same way. And it will always be that way. Because there will be those predator frame of mind motherfuckers that say, you know, well, if he doesn't want to carry a gun, well, that's on him, but that just makes it easier for me to take his ass out. I'm not saying all that. I'm just saying we should stop trying to look for this shit and start focusing on the positive again. Start focusing on the younger generations again. Try to build up our future. Try to build up our ranks the right way. And not have most of our members in jail, you know. Be able to have big ass barbecues instead of saying free, you know, free King Jose, free, you know, King Green Eyes, or free, you know, whatever, King Gringo, Queen Maida. Instead of saying all that, wouldn't it have been a lot better to have those people home, you know? To have them never know what it means to be arrested, be put in the back of the squad car, and being sent to jail. You know, I've heard a lot of horror stories and shit, horror stories of gang members, especially some Lion Kings, that, you know, when they get locked up, nobody goes to visit them. Nobody helps them with money in the books. You know, they say that everything the Lion King stood for is a lie and all that shit because, you know, they never carried on with their promises. Well, I don't know. Everything's a case-by-case basis. But as for me, every time a homeboy went in jail, I made sure to go visit him at least once a month. Even if nobody else did, son, because that's what a Lion King is to me. If I tell you that you're my brother, I mean that shit. You know, if you're willing to put on your black and gold for me, or for yourself every day, and represent what we're supposed to represent, and you get locked up, son, why am I not going to go visit you? And let you know, hey, I saw your wifey yesterday, I saw your little boy, they're doing good. You know, or hey man, are you doing good in here? You need another 10, 15, 20 bucks on your books? I got you. That's what it's supposed to be about, son. So that way when he does finally get out, he remembers how much love we showed him. He'll stay with us, you know. Then you ain't going to have no snitches and shit. Because they're being taken care of. Their families are being taken care of. And then when he comes out, school him a little bit. Say, look, homie, I understand you did what you had to do, but let's chill out for once in a while, man. Because look at how big your little boy grew. Look how much your wife has changed without you, man. You know, it's sad to see so many homeboys get left by their wives because of that shit. You know, it's heartbroken to see the way that their little kids grow up and start resenting the world and become even harder gangbangers than us. You know, I'm just trying to change that frame of mind, trying to school some people about what it really was like and what it really is like living like a Lion King every day. You know, the stuff that I've been through, the negative side that I've been through, and now the positive side that I'm going through. Feel me?